Hey everybody, Game 3, Blightbringer versus Hclat. And fellas, am I goddamn ecstatic right now because I see Hclat with a Jinx lead. And there are no ifs and or buts about it. This is going to be a short game, and we're gonna clean this series up. We're gonna forget game 1 ever happened. This is a best of 1. You can watch the other 2 if you want. I wouldn't recommend it either. Both for different reasons. And this is the game that matters. If I'm Blight, I probably just bring hard stall, considering it gave me the advantage in game 1. But it doesn't look like he's going to do that. Usually, hard stall isn't going to lead off the bat with Zapdos, but it could be. We'll see. Anyway. I don't know. Do these run timid these days? I wonder if he just gets to come out here with a free lovely kiss. They do run timid. I usually don't. I mean, I'm still stuck in my old ways. I'm still capping at like 270. I like the bulk on the Zapdos. Makes it a lot easier to deal with Metagross. I find I don't care that much about outspeeding stuff. Doesn't matter. He got the sleep through anyway. And he's parried on the Jirachi. Makes me wonder what he's gonna do. Well, he double parried and the Jirachi's just CMing. Please let me play. Oh, there it goes. It was a Perish song. Alright. That makes sense. The only way you stay in there is if you have Perish song. I mean, what else could you possibly do? Fire Punch chunks for a lot. I expect him to test the HP grass and probably just go right back to Jinx, sack it. And Blightbringer does predict it, but the Jinx being a toss away makes it safer. That'd be cool if this was like sub or something. Exploit it. Oh, and Blightbringer absolutely nails it. I mean, that was a safe move anyway, to be fair, because that kills. But actually, it was probably more that Hclat made that risk unnecessarily, knowing that there was a strong possibility that was HP grass. Either way, the Jirachi's down. The Zapdos is asleep. I think Hclat is going to need Dougie to kill probably like at least one more thing. If he wants to pull this one back. He's a little behind. He could use a free kill right now. His Celebi is faster, and I have seen this run like HP Ice to try and bait that. I've done it before. But instead he just passes right to the Suicune, which is actually pretty huge right now. I think he wants to. I guess I wonder if he stayed in. He did stay in Ice Beam. I don't know if I'm Blightbringer. I'm not sure. I toss away that Mence there. I think I want to keep that Mence. Get it. What does getting 40% do? I mean, you could have just switched into the Ice Beam and boomed, and then kept your Mence. Oh, there it is. That's exactly what I was saying. He was needing. We'll see if this can kill through. It does not. So there's a free kill for the Dougie. It's not even CB. It's Slack. It's Slack. Doug Trio. Oh, I'm guessing that's Adamant. Oh man, that is weird, but doesn't really do anything. The novelty is fun. It's all about the novelty in Pokemon, because we've seen everything a billion times before. If this is Super Achi HP Grass, it just wins. Looks a lot like a CM spam team that I used to run. Yep, and being HP Grass, Super Achi, it will just clean. Is faster. Psychic will 2-hit KO from here. Oh, it looks like they're tied. Max Timid. He's the Ice Punch version, which is rarer these days. He could be Ice Punch, HP Grass, Fire Punch, which is a little more common than running Psychic. In that spot. Anyway, CM spam wins again. Like the good old days. 220, the back-to-back 20-turn games after leading with a 424-turn game is hilarious. This is exactly what I expected the series to be. These two games. Funnily enough, Blightbringer won the one game where they went full stall. So I'm actually surprised he didn't go. He didn't try it again. Might have been a good matchup here. Like, just bringing them game one team again probably would have been pretty solid matchup. But Blight did have the early momentum, and I think the game was probably won. Just that Dougie catch right there. Maybe. I don't know. He could have still won. Super Archie was going to put in work, and then CM Selby was going to put in work, no matter how, which way you shake it. So maybe he didn't even really need that. Maybe that was irrelevant. Unless it was DD Tar. Then, that's a different story. But either way, solid closeout by Hclat. He won the series. That's who I, predicted. I think during the matchups to predict it. I did not. I never could have predicted that it would be like this. And this kind of set, it's interesting to say the least. I think maybe next time I'll just let CALLOUS know, like, hey buddy, if a game goes over 200 turns, 100, the game goes over 60 turns, I reserve the right to not do that, because I'd rather never do that again. So that's one way to fuck with me. If you see that I'm on your narration, just play at least one game with the stalliest shit you've ever brought in your life. I wouldn't recommend it, but you do you. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed listening to this set. It's interesting because I like to give insight to these matches, and I feel, and I like to pinpoint turns where things can pivot, or it's an important turn where the correct prediction can break things wide open. But all three of these games, for different reasons, I don't think really allowed for that. I think game one was game one. And then game two and game three, I feel like we're just kind of quick stompers. And I think you see that a lot, especially when these offensive teams have the CM backbone. It's kind of like just click CM, and then if you get to kill something, you get to kill something. And Blight was kind of the same way. It was click the button. If you get to kill something, you get to kill something. Even though he only had the one CMer. He also had the DD Mens, which is effectively the same thing, and then he had the Swampert core. Hclat, interestingly enough, went with the offensive Coon as the kind of the sole defensive pivot. Which, if Blight is able to find a way to get rid of that Coon without showing the Mens, that's a different game, and I think he just wins right there. I think DD Mens is kind of your best mon against Hclat's team, because he doesn't have that Swampert pivot that a lot of CM teams often run. Something that can just quick get in, throw an ice beam if it needs to, or then just pivot right back into the next CMer and get the whole process started again. But he had a spot against the Celebi, but then he just forced the damage onto the Suicune, and I think that was a little premature. I think I personally would have switched the Gross in on the Ice Beam, which is why I was possibly advocating for a pump from Hclat, but luckily Hclat didn't overplay it like I maybe would have, because I would have been acting under the knowledge, or the belief rather, that Blight kind of needs his Mance to push through a win. So I wouldn't think he would push that, and so he would, in my mind, Gross is coming in there almost every time. It didn't, so Hclat, click the right move there. But from Blightbringer's perspective, he was given the chance to pivot into the gross and then get the boom there. Or maybe he doesn't even have to boom because Hclat having Ice Beam there knows once again that Mence is the only threat to his team, and if he throws away the Suicune, he has absolutely no answer. So maybe he actually does something differently. Who knows? I think maybe that's the play where I would have done something a little bit differently if I was Blightbringer, but who knows if it would have made a difference. Anyway, thanks for joining me on this journey of extreme pocket monsters. I'll see what sets I have next time, and I will make sure to scour the replays of whoever I choose to make sure they have not brought stall in the past 10 years or so. Anyway, Godspeed.